Hello everyone, appreciate your company this week on Coast to Coast. Of course, it's West Coast dedicated podcast, and I am here with the great man. Haven't seen a lot of him this year. I've seen plenty of him. He's walking around the hallways, he's getting large in the gym, and he's swimming like Eric the Eel in there. But welcome Oscar Allen to the potty.
Too much swimming, mate. I'm going well. How are you?
I'm okay.
Good morning. If you're listening, good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are.
Yeah, it's good to be back. And this is actually the first time we've done our show in chronological order.
It is crazy.
Yeah, so we haven't had our guest, who is Greg Clark, come on the podcast yet. You do a split weights group where you have the old-timers, pensioners. They do their weights first, which you've now graduated to.
Thank you, yeah.
And
shows how quick the transition from footy is. If you make it past your fifth year, you're an old-timer.
So it's 1 to 4 going, because they get stiffed a bit, don't they?
They do, yeah. So first to 4 years, for those who don't know, are on a different program. So basically they've got extra weight sessions, extra education sessions, extra cardio sessions to try and upskill them. And then after you get to your fifth year, you can kind of not run your own program, but a little bit more is run by yourself.
You got to do your time, don't you?
You do. You have to do your time, and it is a terrific feeling to be entering my fifth year.
So you see us just stalling and not talking about the issues at hand right now.
What are those issues?
I wouldn't know, mate.
No,
Got head in the sand for a bit.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the last 3 weeks. It's good. It's good content.
It is. It has been good content. It's been really easy to make good, fun podcasts about.
Big time. Easy to get guests as well. They're all lining up to come and talk footy with me.
Let's cut the fat. The last week we've combined to lose for about 260 points.
Give or take.
Yeah.
Which is unheard of in club history.
Yeah.
Never seen anything like this.
No, I think people listening in as a player, unfortunately, I kind of had danger signs popping up when last year, when we'd lose really poorly. So I think of the 2 games in Geelong. I think of the games even prior to that in Geelong. I think to some of the games in the Hub in 2020. When we aren't on, bad can be pretty bad. So that's probably one of the big things we need to work on as a collective.
We remember that our goal accuracy or scoring accuracy was so elite, and that was keeping us, within the 4 at the time. Like without that, when that would drop off, we were in a bit of trouble as well. So that was a big tick in the box and helping us to perform so well.
Yeah, we've always had a really efficient forward line. So as long as I've been in the football club, been a pretty low inside 50 side. Apart from when we won the premiership, that month we really elevated, but yeah, we're not getting the amount of supply anymore, and unfortunately our forwards aren't holding their end of the bargain up either at the moment, which is disappointing. But that's the way it is, and we just need to get better.
So it's the second time we've lost by over 100 in Perth in the club's history. Do you remember as a supporter the first time that it happened?
I remember one early days, but I couldn't tell you the actual game. No,
this is 08. This is my first year at the club.
So I was about 8 years old. Yeah,
killing it in the Oz Kick program.
I was so bad.
You a big giraffe with all your massive limbs and not knowing how to work them?
No, I was the opposite. I was very short, and I played 2 years up in my older brother's team. So I played 2 years up until I was 14. So I was like the small midfielder, forward pocket, just real crafty and pretty skillful. And then when I got to 15, I grew and went back to my normal age group, so I found it a lot easier.
All the PEDs kicking in about them?
Yeah, exactly right. And all of a sudden I went from the smallest to medium size, and then by Colts I was a bit taller. But yeah.
Does that mean you were playing some midfield?
I was, yeah. I played midfield most of my underage footy, and then was fortunate enough. In fact, my last game of Colts footy I played as a midfielder, purely because I was trying to boost my draft stock to get big numbers.
How'd you go?
Had 30, 10 marks, 10 tackles a goal.
That's big.
So that's when I got drafted. People thought I was a midfielder. It's like, no, I was just playing Colts footy. I'd just been playing league and went down and played Colts and stat padded.
Gotcha. So the game I'm referring to is back in 08 against the Cats. We were at home, Subiaco, and it was the infamous game where Mark Bomber Thompson's got the sandwich out.
What, during the game?
4th quarter.
Wow.
And is just hoeing in massively. And
that's
obviously
a bit disrespectful.
Well, it made all the footy shows at the time saying, look how in relaxation mode he is. He can afford to just sit back and mung.
I tell you what, that was a funny year because that was a year Cats were arguably at their best and they didn't win the premiership that year. Obviously Hawthorn beat them, but that was prime Cats, I thought, 2008.
It was. So Chapman and Mooney had 5 each that day.
Quiet.
We've kicked 5-17. So we probably shouldn't have lost by as much as we did.
So the scoreboard didn't necessarily reflect what it was like.
Well, it kind of did, because in the end, Gaz had 37 and 2. Leckers kicked 3 and singles to Cox Hunter. Yeah, I mean, like, even I wonder
if JK played. Was he here yet? He would have been. First year.
He was.
Was he playing?
Well, he didn't kick a goal, if so.
Well, this was a time where JK, people might not remember this, JK actually wasn't a starter when he first got to West Coast because he was behind Quinton Lynch and he was also behind Ash Hansen.
Yeah,
towards the end of
he
his
was here in
career.
08.
He was behind both of them, and I think he had to wait for an injury for one of them to kind of come in and through the rungs, and then obviously didn't miss since because he's a superstar.
Playing some Sharks footy at the time, you reckon?
Yeah.
Because that was part of the alignment, no alignment where you'd go get drafted by your original club or a new club.
Yeah, his original club was East Freo before he got drafted, and I remember talking to him about he came back and he just got traded for Chris Judd. Like, imagine the pressure you'd be under.
Yeah.
And he's gone out and played a game of East Fremantle in a practice game. So round 1 AFL practice game, waffle. And I think he had 4 touches and 6 hit-outs and got like smashed by this ruckman.
How often have you ever seen him in the ruck since?
And the back page of the paper was like, this is what we traded Chris Judd for.
Really?
And like, yeah, he was talking to me about, like, they went through his stat line. They were like, man, this was a tough initiation to WA footy.
Yeah.
But it worked out pretty well for
That's
him.
hilarious. That's a freezing cold take now by the West in retrospect. Because
One of many.
Masto was always being compared to it as well because he was obviously part of it, or the pick was part of it.
Pick 3 they got as well.
That's the one. Saw Masto pop up in a stat with his birthday yesterday.
Go on.
So it was from Swamp Thing, which is where I get half my material from. I've just got to find me Masto stat. So for his 33rd birthday yesterday, Swamp Thing has tweeted, who are the 3 players? I was going to do this for a bit of a quiz with you. You'll never get it, but who are the last 3 players to have 20 touches in a quarter of AFL footy? And
I know Masto's one of them.
Masto's one of them. So he did it in 2015 against the Gold Coast Suns.
The last 3 players.
Yeah. So one was I've given you the years there, 2013 in a semi-final, and 2021, so last year against the Dockers.
And what team are they for?
I'm not going to give you that.
All right, 2015 versus Suns.
No. So the 2015 against the Suns, Masto, tick. That was the last quarter.
Sorry.
Just feasted like a vulture on the carcass on that one.
Okay.
So then 2013 semi-final against the Blues. And then the other one's last year against Freo. And I've even given the initials there for the top one in 2013.
I don't even know who those initials could be. Is it obvious?
No. But last year could be. You could almost get last year. Ball magnet last year.
Was last year Took Miller?
No, it was Tom Mitchell.
Tom Mitchell,
against Freo. Racked it up. And then Jared McVeigh. So you're probably not going to get that one.
Jared McVeigh got 20 touches in a quarter?
Apparently.
Wow.
You ever get that back in your Colt days?
No.
Okay, dokie.
No.
So anyway.
That's a month's worth nowadays.
Yeah. So that 2008 season, very similar to this one a little bit, the way it started. So we won the first game against the Lions and then lost the next 7.
Where did we finish in 2008? Is that when we won we won the Spoon in 2010.
Well, we got Gaffey with our first pick, right?
In 2011? Not 2009, yeah. So 2006 we won the premiership. 2007 we came 5th. And we lost that final to Collingwood.
After the Port one. Remember the Port game?
Yeah.
Where Cuz did his hammy?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then
and Judd was playing out the square. He'd be moving as well as you at the moment, probably.
Yeah. And then 2008 is when the decline started to happen. So 8, 9, 10. Bottomed out in 2010. Wooden Spoon. 2011 draft, we got Gaff, Darling, Lysette and McGovern. So not too bad.
So Shuey was got at the end of this season then?
Yes, he was, yeah.
Okay. But that wasn't in the 20s. That was in the 20s.
It was pick 11, I reckon.
Shuey?
Yeah, I think so.
Nah.
I think so. Oh, no, maybe it was 20. Anyway. They recovered. They didn't finish the year.
They didn't completely bottom out.
No.
But they weren't losing as many games with this margin, though, so it's going to be interesting. We'll start. So I got a call from TB when I was on the golf course, late Karen up, hitting him terribly.
What time?
4
on
Friday.
Oh, no.
And it's a call from TB. And I'm like, that's got to be a pocket dial.
Well, on the game?
The day of the game.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, what's going on here?
Yeah, and what did he say?
I don't know.
Why was he calling you?
This is all great questions, Oscar.
There's a lot going on
and
here.
Anyway, like he didn't fess up to me that he wasn't playing, but he was asking if I was at work. He needed something from work. And I'm like, what a spanner. He's left his boots at the club. And it's like a 2-minute drive. I felt like going, mate, you go get them. In the end, I was like, no, I'm walking to the 19th playoff hole, TB. Can't help you. And he was like, oh, okay, cool, got to go. And I was like, what a weird moment. And in the end,
his notepad or something.
He was chasing his like parking pass or something like less important. Yeah, he didn't tip his hand to me, but that was a total shock. So how long did you know that they were doing hammy tests on Friday Arvo?
So Thursday was the captain's run, and I was actually getting a scan, just a checkup scan to see how I'm going on the Thursday night. And I come out of my scan about 10 o'clock on Thursday night.
Are you over scans yet?
I'm so over him. We've got a little physio room joke going, games played to scan ratio, and I'm at the highest currently. I'm at more than one.
Don't say what it is.
Yeah, I won't say what it is. JK's the all-time clubhouse leader.
Yeah. I remember Sam Butler
and
saying...
McGovern catching up quickly.
I remember Sam Butler saying if there comes out information that this is, cancerous in any degree, he's cooked.
Yeah.
He's absolutely cooked.
I'll be in bad areas if that's the case.
So what did you say? It took an hour, did it?
Sorry, yeah. So I got in at about 9, delayed, got in at 9:30. Oh, voice stuzzer. Got out.
It's winding it back.
Got out at 10, and as I got out, I come out and I'm a bit sleepy. Like you've been in the scan,
Yeah.
you probably doze off, and I go, "Rawr!" And I was like, "Who is that?" Tom Barras. And
Do you think he was a crazy fan for a minute?
And I was like, "TB." He's like, "What's up?" I was like, "What are you doing here? Like, you're playing a game tomorrow." He's like, "Oh, just a tie dummy." And I was like, "Oh, cool." And he goes, "Oh, it should be fine." And I was like, "Oh, yeah." And then I walked out and I was like, "Damn, there goes another soldier."
I felt that's happened. I don't get to talk about it with your teammates as much as you would.
Yeah.
But the amount of times they go in there for a precautionary scan and they find something and they're kind of caught off guard by that. They're like, I really didn't expect one to be there.
No.
Because the gap between soreness and a strain
It's very grey.
Correct.
Yeah. It is very grey. And I reckon most people, if they have scans, will come up something. Well, most people are playing AFL because their body's going through a lot of load. But if you're not aware of it or it's not functionally damaging you, it doesn't really matter. That's the opinion I have, and most physios would agree with me. But once it gets to a stage where you have awareness and it shows up on scan, that's when you start to try and research, and you probably need some form of rehab or physio to help it.
So TB goes out.
Yes.
Then Foley's announced that he's in H&S protocols. So the streak is broken.
I know, I'm devastated. Who holds it now?
It's Bunga.
No. Is it?
He hasn't missed yet, right? Because Naishi doesn't qualify. Didn't play last year.
Did Bunga play the last game of last year or no?
Yeah, because
Against
he
Gabba?
remember it was him and Foles that was on the streak. It was
Foles leading though.
Yeah, that's.
I'm not sure if Bunga played that last game against the Gab. Oh, you would have. Yeah, Bunga would be leading.
Okay.
Clubhouse leader. Well done, Shannon.
But how unbelievable is that it's leading with less than 8 games consecutively?
And then second's Pat Nash.
Yeah, you'd have to think so. So shame for Foles, but this was, mate, it was just Groundhog Day for me because I took the boy again. It was just.
No. Stop taking him.
Yeah, I know.
Stop taking him.
Is it on me?
It is, yeah. Stop taking him to the game.
Unreal. So again, we're gonna go at halftime regardless.
Left at quarter time.
No, my mate got there at quarter time and he's just kind of walked up the stairs and looked at me and was like, oh, and then wanted to do the U-turn. It's not hard to learn.
So your mate got there at quarter time and left at halftime.
Left at 3/4 time. He was proud to make it to 3/4 time. But mate, then we got back on the train and the train talks were disgusting.
Yeah, can you give me some insight?
Oh, it was.
Please?
I wish I had headphones on. It was just. I don't want to pot the fans too much because
No.
out of the 90, out of 100% of the feedback that I overheard throughout my journey from the gate to the train and then getting off my train, 90% of it was garbage. And 10% of it was just me giving a slight nod going, that's fair call.
Yeah, well, and to be fair, most of the people that have left are the ones that are probably frustrated as well.
Yeah.
And I completely understand. You guys pay good money to come watch us play and we aren't performing. So I completely understand how frustrating that'd be. But it is funny. I'd just like hearing the stories just for a giggle, if you will.
I reckon these are the people that don't have Facebook because they can't get on Facebook. So
and make these comments.
They'll just grab someone on the train and go, you look like you'll listen to me for a bit. And you can't leave.
And what were they saying? Please tell me.
Just trying to one insight. Oh, it was just who should go.
Oh, yeah.
It was just
the great
these
stories.
guys need to go.
Yeah.
You need to get rid of them and start absolutely fresh.
Start fresh.
Yep.
Cool.
That's the lighter way to put it.
Yeah.
And in the end, I just couldn't handle it. I couldn't jump out. We were going pretty quick at the time, but I would have and left my 6-year-old on the train to fend for himself.
There was one silver lining, and unfortunately you missed it, and those that left also missed it, so suck on eggs.
Agree.
But my man JK, not my man, the man.
You can call it.
He's the man.
Yeah.
JK, 700 goals. That was terrific.
I loved how much it meant to him.
Yeah.
Because in the scenario, you could...
if it was just a normal goal, he wouldn't have even given an iota of care or celebration.
He's not the kind of guy to ever be caught up. I could absolutely imagine also JK shrugging that goal milestone off because that's the kind of competitive, team first guy he is.
Yeah.
But the fact he didn't and he really embraced it, tugged the jumper, running to the pocket, that just made my heart warm that seeing it, how much it meant to him.
It was great. The 600 goal celebration was the same as 700 as well against North Melbourne, the tug on the jumper.
Yeah.
I was pretty flat that I wasn't out there, to be honest. He's my role model, idol. You grow up watching footy and you grow up supporting him, and then to be able to play with him and be a part to a certain extent of what he's been through, But that final, I suppose, just that how much it meant to him was just unbelievable. And after the game, I'm standing there as the boys come into the locker room and I'm flat. And I just see him and I just give him a handshake and a hug. And he just gives me a nod like, thanks, mate.
Yeah.
Like, no words said, just well done.
So who else is he catching? So he's level with Pav. Dick Lee.
Pavlova finished on 700.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yep. And his last season was very similar to what West Coast are going through right now. A big kind of bottom out of Pav's almost farewell season also. Mm-hmm. So that's quite interesting.
Little Kobe Bryant farewell tour. Go say goodbye to every state.
What would be the equivalent to Josh Kennedy, to like having 50 points? Is it everyone just looking at Josh in the Ford 50 for every single Ford entry?
It's him kicking 6. It's Joe Roughhead's last game.
Yeah. How many did he kick?
I think he kicked 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is what the equivalent is.
And the blinkers were on every time you went in Ford 50.
And you can't help but think, watching, this guy can go around again. Like, you just can't help but think that.
So here are some of the names. So Wayne Carey's at 727. Jack Rewalt's still adding to his at 726.
I don't think he'll get Jack.
He
could get
well, no,
the
he
duck.
won't get. Well, Jack
he could
might
get the duck.
At 727.
I think so. How many's off? 27 goals. How many
27.
games we got left? 16. He can play 14 games, kick 2 a game.
He hasn't rested yet, and Simo's flagged some rest for Bunga and JK whenever it's coming. So whether it be 1 or 2, it'll be interesting, that debate. Sav Rocker 748, Barry Hall 746, Kernahan 738.
Nah, you're getting just a crazy. I think
Peter Hudson 727 and the Duck are on the same.
I think they're the two that are potentials.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised if he has one more big day out.
Yeah. Dick Lee's on 707, so we'll eat him up. And Nick Rewalt 718 is a good one for the sides.
Yeah, he should get Rui.
Yeah. Yeah. So how many games did Rue play? He played 336.
Way more, yeah.
Yeah.
Rui was probably more of an up-the-ground player, though, to be fair.
Fair point. Yep. All right, man. So that's JK Love. We've done that.
Yep.
You talked about the supply battle. That was massive. Negative 29 inside 50s. Did you know the scores from turnover was at such drastic levels and in record territories?
It was noticeable, and I shouldn't make a joke out of it, but I've mentioned him multiple times, my roommate Josh Smith. So I went and watched him play Perth Waffle 2 weeks ago, and Perth conceded 18 goals, 5 from turnovers, and he came. I went home with him
in less time of AFL as well.
In less time, and he said, we've set the world record for most turnovers from goals. And then I came home on Friday night, and he's just laughing on the couch. He goes, well done, mate. And shook my hands like, you guys now hold the record for most turnovers for goals. So that was a little laugh with him. But yeah, it's not sustainable to win games of footy. And the whole landscape of footy, if we want to turn it into this way, that's kind of the way that most teams are scoring now. I'm not sure how many teams score from stoppages, apart from your Melbournes who come out the front and have these bulls.
And your CBDs.
Yeah.
Of 666.
If you're not scoring from centre bounces, it's very hard to score from stoppage. A lot of it's just turnover to turnover battle.
Yeah. And it was a good collection of forward half and mid turnover in that game.
Sorry for the footy chat.
No, some people are out there for it, but I had an idea, but I went and did the math on the Optus Stadium record. So the blistering 33-7 start is unbelievable for a new stadium. The timing of it, to commit to building it, that is such a dominant home record.
Is that our record now?
That was what it was.
Before we started losing the end of last year?
Correct. Before that mid-season bye.
And we lost our first game there too, so we're 33-6.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
2-8 the last 10 games now. So you'd hate to think that the drop-off of fans is to do with that form, and you really want to tick the COVID box just from a supportership, club loyalty perspective.
Yeah.
But only the fans will know why they couldn't pack out 60,000 when the Premier said all gates are open. And it's the first time we've been to the bottom of the ladder since the 2012 is when the top 18 came in.
Wow.
The last two teams to never finish at the bottom of a ladder after a round were us and the Tigers.
So the Tigs, congratulations, you've relegated us.
Yeah, basically. So they're on that mountain on their own.
Yep.
Looking ahead, so we've got more COVID problems. Jackson Nelson, Alex Witherden, they are Gonski.
I told you the podcast curse returns. I hope that's
Greg Clark. We can't do it to
I hope that's not going to happen to our guest Greg that's coming on later, but there are some injury concerns as well.
Yep. So we got Rioli, who was a bit sore. He had some hamstring sort of strapping up going on. Yeah, awareness, a great word.
Thanks.
We'll see where he's at. Awesome to see 3 Riolis out there on the ground at
It
once.
was great, yeah. How good is Morris? I didn't realise how quick he is.
How many games has he played? Under 5, right?
3.
Yeah.
That was his third game.
Okay.
Yeah.
But deadly. And I was trying to think what other family could have pulled this off. Because all the
Selwoods?
Well, yeah, and the fact that Cloaks and the Selwoods...
And Selwoods will be like siblings as well, which is even another level of craziness.
Yes. To hear that Morris is Daniel's uncle was a bit of a trip.
Yeah, that is trippy.
Yeah. But yeah, and then O'Neill, like he's got some knee troubles. The fact he played through it, I commended
good
him.
on you, X.
I
That's
commended him
brave.
on the podcast earlier that he played through a whole heap of injuries last year in the Waffle season when we looked like not making finals, and he stuck to it. So he's got a lot of heart, X. I like it.
Yep.
And Liam Ryan, he looks sore. He played on, but we'll see where he's at. The medical report comes out Tuesday afternoon. So when you listen to this, it's probably out. Go have a look there and get some more finite details. Will you be featuring on it? I dare say you will.
Probably not. I'm not even relevant at the moment.
All right. Well, that's why you're here, mate. You're relevant out there, but geez, you're important in here. Otherwise, it's me here. I'm a Pat Malone.
Anyway, I'm not ruling myself out by any means. I'm just saying I'm
From
pretty,
the podcast, please don't.
No. I'm pretty stagnant right now. So there's not a whole lot of gossip. Whereas guys that are playing and getting injured, it's probably a little bit more interesting to see where they're at.
Yep. We can't talk too much on this, and I definitely don't want a question from you, Oz, but
Cool.
this is a very fascinating time ahead for the footy club in terms of what they do. There's some big decisions to be made by the power brokers at the club, and we'll leave it at that, eh?
Yeah, I'm not going to touch too much on it, as you said, but I am excited about the potential of. Obviously, we're in a tough space right now, but I see myself and a lot of other younger players as a chance to really build a legacy of our own at the football club. I got to the football club in 2018 when we were already a successful, established side, so I'm looking forward to the chance to kind of build something with the playing group I've grown up with now.
Yeah, mint. This is going to be our shortest episode for the whole year.
We're just smashing through it. I thought that was such a good politically correct answer, by the way.
It was, man. It was. So
hopefully you don't trade me. Please not.
All right. So we got Greg Clark coming in. He's not ready yet. Let's go find him around the club, eh?
Okay.
Is there anything else that we need to talk about before Clarky gets here? Because, like, Waffle Watch could be done because he saw it, but he might not have the time. Do we want to do Waffle Watch with me and you?
Yeah, let's go through Waffle Watch with us.
All right, this is Waffle Watch, courtesy of Hungry Jacks. Before I get stuck into Waffle Watch,
Yes.
though, Oz, I got a story for you.
Go on, I love your stories.
Pretty embarrassing stuff, though. So, agreed to call the Waffle game as part of...
You did?
Yeah, this is going to be my first one of the year. Don't know half the West Coast Waffle players yet. They're a completely
That's
different
poor from
outfit.
you.
Why, though, Oz? I'm busy. I'm watching your mob lose every...
Dumper, how can you not know their names? I know all the fellas' names and I haven't played with them yet this year.
It's a lot of footy to watch, Oz.
To be fair, you are watching a truckload of it.
Yeah, not a lot of great
I
footy.
do enjoy your commentary though, so I'm excited to see what you do.
Right, here we go. So, had to also go and watch the Peel game. So, I haven't called Peel in a long time. Had done a lot of
Peel
study.
have got a lot of different players that
That's what
haven't
I'm
been
talking
around
about.
before.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And West Coast. You can't tell me. Like, there's 8 players in that team I've never seen their face. So anyway, a lot of study from Thumper, a lot of late nights. I've ended up wrangling a dude from marketing to do special comments with me, paying him a carton, no problem. So, like, I've lobbed to the ground here at Mineral Resources Park, gone to the commentary booth, and there's one headset and one talkie box. And I've got on the blower to some random dude. He's going, "Hey, who are you?" I'm like, I'm Steve. And he's like,
I'm Thumper.
"Oh, cool, mate. Yeah, cool. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Do this, that." And I'm like, "Well, where's your second mic and headset, mate?" He's like, "Oh, nah, that's not happening." I'm like, "Oh, I have stitched up old mate from marketing big time because he's lobbing here to call the game. He would have done all his notes, and I'm going to tell him there's no mic available for him." And while I'm kind of debating with someone on the other end of these headphones, I'm like, "Mate, I'm at the club. I've got some equipment. Maybe we can plug and do some rogue MacGyvering and get him working." Mid-convo, someone else has come up the stairs with a notepad.
This is what I was going to say. I watched the game and I didn't hear you commentate 1 single second. So I was thinking, are you pulling my pants down here or what?
You know that Spider-Man meme where they're both looking at each other and pointing?
You?
Like, we just kind of looked at each other and went, "Who are you? Like, what are you doing?"
And he's a Perth guy, that dude.
Is he?
He commentated the West Coast game against Perth.
Right.
And he's like, was full bag in West Coast players.
So he's riding them home with, with the
right
jockey
on
stick.
Perth. He's like, "That's a free kick." Just like the most biased commentary I've ever heard.
So anyway, and then we've gone, "What are you doing?" He said, "I'm calling the game." I'm like, "Oh, dearie me."
Do you guys like rock, paper, scissors, or were you happy to get the
Well,
reprieve?
in the end, I felt so embarrassed. I'm like, right, clearly there's been a double booking. Like, I'm not going to be a flog and
Do you get paid for that?
That's to be debatable.
Oh.
But in the end, like...
Do you still get paid even if you don't do it?
Nah, probably in Smarties by the club saying good effort, but
Fuel money.
probably not. And then...
In saying fuel money is a rarity these days.
Yeah, that is big money.
That is big money.
But in the end, I ceded the call. Is it seceded?
Yep.
Sure.
Yeah, we'll go
I
with that.
conceded the call
Conceded,
to
yeah.
old mate, and he was flat because he had to call the double header. He was like, "Mate, can you please jump in?" And I was like, "No, well, your boss is telling me I can't call, so see you later." That was pretty awkward. So I got sacked from commentary before a word was spoken.
That's probably one of the toughest starts, I think.
Yeah. But in the end, when they were 2-0 up to start the game, I thought, oh my God, I'm going to miss calling an absolute cracker. I lost by 55.
Yeah. I thought there were promising sides, though. I don't think
Tell me about them, Oz.
I don't think the scoreboard was a correct representation of the game. And I know that sounds like a cop-out, but it's true. So quarters 2 and 4 were very, very even. And Peel just got on big runs to end the first and third quarters. There weren't that many AFL players playing, listed players, that is.
8 listed players.
Right.
And Zach Langdon got injured as well.
Yep, Zach Langdon hurt his foot. Zane True in his comeback game, first game for about 9 months. I thought he showed promising signs. He's another one for the future.
How many minutes did he play, Oz?
He only played 60 minutes.
Cool.
So expect more stats-wise, but I thought his impact was pretty good.
What have you seen? You're about to say, for the future, have you seen a bit of Zane True either on the track or in previous games that fans might not have? You can share?
I have, yeah. I think he's a really good young talent. He played the preseason game against Fremantle in 2021 and had 10 touches in a quarter. He
Massive.
came on then and hurt his back after that game and then missed a lot of the season. Came back for the back end of the Waffle season, missed the final, I suppose, third of the season again after that. So he's had some injury worries early in his career, but I dare say if he was being available, we would have sent him at AFL level this year. There's been a lot of people that have been exposed to AFL level, and I think he'd be one of them. So I'm excited to see what he can do. He's a big body midfielder, highly rated as a junior, which is always a good sign. Jermaine Jones played off the half back line, had 26 touches. Did you have any thoughts on Jermaine's game?
I didn't watch the game.
Right, so Jermaine Jones was terrific. He played off the half back line. He was skillful and tough. He actually played half back at the back end of his time at Geelong.
Right.
My man Joey Deegan, for those who don't know, he is a Waffle top-up.
Yep.
And me and him played club footy together from the ages of about year 7 or 8 onwards.
At the mighty North Beach?
No, Sereno Duncraig.
So he made the switch to the Promised Land?
He did. Well, there's no seniors at Sereno Duncraig.
Sure.
So he played all the way through his juniors, and he also played at Subi Colts.
So was this like Matt Prittis, Adam Cockey areas?
Yeah.
For Sereno Duncraig?
Sereno Duncraig, Matt Prittis, Adam Cockey, Jack Darling.
Yeah.
Yeah, Luke Foley.
It's big.
So, yeah, Joey, and he captained on the day. So he's the same age as me. He had 27 touches, was our best on the day, I'd say. Jack Williams is showing some great signs.
Yep.
I'm really excited about this kid.
I watched his first quarter. Led well, kicked straight, good prison. Like when that rig gets proper
He
developed.
looks so big, like tall.
He does, but it's awesome when you see the height and they haven't filled out yet.
And you know what he can do? He's a genuine key forward backup ruck. Like, we've had some guys who are key forwards and we've makeshift in backup ruck. He is a genuine backup ruck size.
Is he getting any taller though, Oz?
I think so. He wasn't as tall as he is now. I still remember doing vision with him yesterday. I was like, man, I feel like such a dweeb here. Like, you're looking all over me. Petch, did you say the start of his game? You didn't?
No.
First 30 seconds, out of a centre bounce, 2 bounces, 50, goal.
Are you kidding me? You want to know the story of that then?
Go on.
Like, the Waffle missed the start of the game in terms of like going back and watching it. So we're 1 goal and the game starts on the broadcast.
No way. Petch's goal was unbelievable.
I was wondering. I was like, if someone tells me that's a ripper goal, I'm going to be so flat.
It was so good. Easy Windy kicked 2 goals, had a lot of impact on the game. He's another improving young player. Gaffey is the sub.
So
Can we talk about this?
Yeah, absolutely. So I thought there was a chance we were going to see Gaffey play Waffle, and I thought for the first time, and then I was corrected by a couple of teammates, he's played some Waffle footy.
He has.
Yeah.
Did you not know that?
No. Perhaps it was you that was correcting me in the lunchroom.
Yeah, the big fella has played Waffle. He played a couple games early in his first year where he was 18 years old and weighed 65 kilos, similar to yourself.
Yeah. And found a lot of it, correct?
But was getting 35 touches at South Freo.
That's the downside.
And he loved the South Freo boys. He reckons there's a great little culture down there.
Come in, mate. Come on in.
Gregory.
How are you, Ledge?
How was the presser?
Thanks, Timmy.
Do you have a presser?
I haven't done it yet. Am I still doing that?
Yeah, we'll get you in here. This won't take too long. All right. Guess who's just joined us?
A really important man to the future of the football club.
Greg Clark. He's just come from Media Street Bonanza because we've teed up a hell of a lot of interviews for him this week. There's some headphones, mate. You put them on. This is, don't get scared by the bright lights. Yeah, you played in front of 40,000, but this is a radio studio.
I'm excited to see what he's got for us. Greg, you are one of the more, and we've got a lot of feedback. We'll start off early. You're one of the more handsome men going around. Do you want to talk to me a little bit about that?
Oh, it depends on who you ask. If you ask Boots, I got the biggest nose in the world. So
That's
38 years old.
from Luke Shuey.
This podcast has got a bit in the beak department. Then.
No. I don't have much to say about that, mate.
That's where half the comments came from. A lot of horny people wanting to talk about Greg's good looks on social media. Just calm down. It's a footy podcast, guys.
Anyway.
His OnlyFans account is reachable, but that is not the forum to find him.
Anyway, we'll start at the start. How are you, mate?
Good. How are you guys?
Good, mate. So we'll start with how everyone wants to start. This Matt Priddis comparison is going off the charts. Obviously, I actually remember, and you wouldn't know this, but I was playing, I didn't make the stage 16s. I remember going and watching the 18s and watching you play way back when, because you're 2 years older than me.
Yep.
So way back when watching you play, talk to me about your kind of footy journey, because it's an interesting one.
Yeah. I started, and I alluded it to the boys when I got up and spoke with Simo in front of the playing group about, as a junior and coming through the state programs and captaining a few state sides and being a part of the AS programs, I started to really believe and get told by a few people that AFL is going to be my career. And after a number of years of that occurring and never having to face any sort of adversity or resilience, I started to buy into the hype and not develop while everyone else kept on developing and chasing that dream. And come draft day, name just never got read out and never heard from anyone again. And yeah, it was literally a lightning bolt moment to go, well, what do you do now? Like your whole almost persona's been becoming an AFL player, and now I'm thrown out to just go to uni and find a different career and what am I going to do with my footy? And the easiest option at the time was to go back to Subi. And my mindset still at the time was, no worries, I'll go back down to Waffle and I'll just dominate and I'll get drafted again in 1 year's time, no stress. And then over the next course of the 2 years, having Jared Schofield as my senior coach at Subi, who's now here, and a really strong side, I got, for the first time in my life, dropped numerous times, number of injuries, and just really struggled. And especially in a pretty pivotal point of your life when you're 18, 19, it was a lot to go through and try to figure out what I was going to do outside of footy, and led to a point where I met with the club and just said, look, I just can't do this anymore. It's not for me. I can't make it at the Waffle level, and I'm just going to go chase coin with mates in the country somewhere.
No, didn't know that.
Yeah. I called it.
Was that a couple of years ago?
Yeah. Oh, that was 2017 at the end of the year.
Yeah.
I just said, I don't know.
Had you won a flag for Subi when you made that call?
That year was the year I got dropped from the league grandy and played in the Resi's grandy.
Wow.
And that was the first time I played in a grand final and we won that.
So it was a bit of dejection too at the same time.
Yeah.
It was like, look, I can't keep doing this.
Yeah, I wasn't that much of a resilient person at the time. And it was just, I think it was the easy way out was to go, I'm just going to go chase some coin. But in hindsight, I'm really glad that I got dropped into that twos team and have a bit of success for the first time ever. Like, I'd never been in a grand final before, and
that's classic.
And led to a bit of success afterwards.
That's right.
Obviously,
so
talk us through.
If I hadn't played in that reserves grand final, I just think I would have still gone on and chased coin in the country. But it took a few months, and I hadn't really spoken to many country clubs, and I spoke to a few people, and the biggest point that got raised with me was, if you look back on this in 10 or 20 years, you don't want to really regret what you could have potentially done, whether it's Waffle, AFL, whatever. You just don't want to look back and be the bloke, the bloke at the pub who sits there and goes, I could have done that, but I did my knee. Like, I just really didn't want to be that. I wanted to give it everything I could. So I went back, met with Scully, and he said to me, there's no, you're not guaranteed anything. You're going to come back and you have to earn your stripes. And that was probably the first time ever I really just bought into a program and bought into what the boys were about, and worried less about myself and trying to play well. Like, the AFL draft thing was gone. I wasn't even thinking about that. And I managed to play in that undefeated side that went on to win the grand final. And once I tasted that, I just wanted more and more of that. And my whole mindset changed to just leaving my legacy at Subi and helping that club move forward. We won a couple more flags since then. And I was really fortunate to then get picked up last year by the Eagles.
So 24, you've got a reserves premiership, 3 league premierships, a best on grand final day. You've achieved pretty much all there is at Waffle level to achieve. The last time you're on Optus Stadium, pretty good day for yourself.
The grand final?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a really special day. I mean, the way we view it internally was 18, 19, we just had such a strong playing group that had been together for years, and Scully just built this incredible team, and those premierships almost just came off the back of each other and how much success we'd had. And then 2020, we had a really poor year. For the first time in 8 years, we didn't make a granny. We didn't even make finals. And then the new group who'd almost come into the club, and we'd lost a few senior guys at the time, we just really took ownership and said, we still think we can do this. And it started like we repainted the lockers. We did everything as a playing group before the season even started to make sure we owned it. And then, we just got on this roll in the year, and we had such a young team. So for me, that premiership is just, it's one of my favourite memories, just knowing that this young group came together and just built something so special. So,
is there a yarn where Simo called you to tell you you're playing, but you didn't think he was referring to the A side? Did that happen?
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, when he called me to let me know I was debuting, I think it had gotten to, what day was it? That would have been Wednesday night. And I'd seen a few boys debut earlier in the year, and they'd been told quite early in the week, and I just like, it's not going to be this week. And so Simo calls me and he goes, "You ready to go this week?" I still just assumed it was in the waffle, but then, it took a bit for him to start telling me about my role, and I was like, oh my God, yes, this is going to happen. So that was, regardless, really cool.
A poor reveal, but it must have been a bit of a sweet and sour moment, Clarkey. So talk us to us about what you were like pre-game, like taking it all in. Was it how you expected it to be? Because a game of footy, the prep of a game of footy is similar no matter where you play, but they've got like a choreographed song that's going on, and like, right, they're doing this before the game. Like, is it different to what you anticipated?
Yeah, it is. Like, I think having a couple waffle games at least helped me understand the style of prep that the Eagles do, which is a bit different to what I'm used to. But I think I went into it with a pretty clear mindset of just trying to not go in with expectations about how I've got to do certain things, just being open to what the pre-game's going to be like. The main time the nerves kicked in, because I started on the bench, was when I ran on for the first time, and I'd said it to family and friends that I just wanted that first contest to come around so that I could feel comfortable and ease into the game.
Are you glad you started on the bench with that in mind, or would you have rather started?
It's neither there or here. I don't think
I'll answer the question from. He'd rather start on the field and be able to get in the first contest. I'm the same when I started playing. Like, I want to be on the field. Like, I want to feel someone whack me in the back and like make it feel like a game, like it's 100%. Not a dream.
I think that's the thing. Like, it's weird, but that's what you chase, is that first huge collision or like a big hit to just like spark you into the moment. So, yeah.
Was yours that first tackle as well?
My first sort of contest was a tackle, so that got me right into it.
I think the great man's tackle efficiency on the night was pretty decent in terms of the ones he tried to lay. Very unbandy-like. He stuck a lot of them.
Well, that is the thing. Dream Team's a big thing at the football club at the moment. A couple of boys are in a couple of fantasy leagues. And yourself, you're a bit of a valuable commodity going around. Have you received many messages or DMs about that over the last week?
Yeah. I mean, fantasy just seems to grow year on year.
It's going crazy, hey?
In saying that, I actually don't. Like, I think that's a bit too much footy for me.
Yeah.
But my brothers are into it. Or, like, as you say, the boys are always trying to do trades downstairs and things. And, I got a few DMs about it. But, I don't know where to start with it all. Like, it's so technical. And Witho was trying to explain it to me the other day, and I was like, no, this is just going above my head. So I'm glad I don't know how it all works, because I wouldn't want to let that all get to me a bit.
Yeah.
How did you find the emotions of having your first game, one of the worst losses in club history? Because you're kind of coming off the field going, I've just achieved a life dream, but I obviously can't be, too happy in this scenario. We haven't won and we haven't played very well.
Yeah, that sums it up well. Like, it was a childhood dream that I got to experience and be a part of. But on the other side of that, it was a terrible loss that we're owning at the moment and trying to rectify. But I mean, if I'm going to take any positives out of that, is if that's how good it is to be just playing AFL, I just cannot wait to be a part of a win and get this ship sort of back on the right path with all the boys.
Have you seen what his Brisbane trip's about to entail?
Yeah, have you looked at the schedule and see what the trip is?
I got told about it yesterday. I don't sleep after games anyway. So
handy. Handy.
I think, I reckon I went to sleep at about 4 a.m.
They come back at 4 a.m, 5 a.m. on
They get
Sunday.
back at 5:30 after a 7 o'clock game. So it's a bit of a doomed trip. One question, just to let the listeners know a little bit more about yourself. Obviously, you kind of went in, I'll hopefully play AFL. Then you had to go to uni. What did you end up doing? Obviously, you graduated from uni.
Yeah, I studied a Bachelor of Commerce at UWA.
Yep.
So in finance and economics, and from the sound of that, suits my name. And when I talk about after not getting drafted, not knowing what I was going to do. A Bachelor of Commerce almost doesn't make you anything anyway. Like you still kind of have to figure out what you want to do and where you want to head. And yeah, it took me probably 3 or 4 years to figure out that I wanted to work as a financial advisor, because I think you can actually make a bit of change in people's lives and see the impact you can cause and bring a lot of relief to people. So yeah, that's what I ended up working as until the end of last year.
Beautiful.
Was your mum going a bit rogue on some Facebook posts, mate?
Yeah, I heard. So I don't have Facebook on my phone, but
Yeah, no, it's the first thing you got to get rid of, eh?
yeah, I'm trying to weed off them.
Yeah.
Bunga's got it down pat. I think Duggo's got it down pat. too.
Bunga's
Just
never
get
had
off
any social media.
I know, that's the dream. But yeah, I got a message from my brother just with like a laughing face that mum's posted it. Like literally, I think I would have gotten off the phone to her and she'd posted it. She's so stoked.
Proud as punch.
I know. And then I think Serge had told her that nothing's been released yet, so she had to take it down. So I didn't get to see it, but no, good on her. She's such a great support to me. So
Epic.
yeah.
And how many family members do you have there on the day?
I think I've got.
Did you go to Serge and be like, I need 30 tickets?
No. So my girlfriend's really good with this kind of stuff. She was onto it the minute I got the quarter debut, and she was really good with organising tickets for my family and friends and things like that. So I left that in her court, and she did a good job of it.
So how many did you ask for from the club, or you just took your regular allotted amount for the week?
I think Tess would have asked for 12, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many you reckon I asked for my first game, Thumper?
Oh, 50?
50.
You greedy.
I just don't have many friends as you, mate.
Well,
I think you was hustling him out the front.
I was selling them, yeah. I was actually making some
Very
coin
clever.
off it. So, mate, we've come up with a little quiz to see how well you know your teammates.
Yeah, you're new to the party, Clarky.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you can play some footy and you're a hard nut and all. But you'd meet
Do I
these
know
guys.
them?
Do you know the
Do you know them?
fellas?
Do you know them?
How close are we? You go first, Thumper.
Yeah, so who's got the golf handicap of 12?
Not X.
Correct.
All he talks about is how stinky he is. Mate, the
He's
boys
also
are-
bad at golf.
So I can't get into golf.
12's decent. 12's decent.
12's good.
Oscar Allen will get very, very stimulated if he was 12.
The only person
Thumper's less than 12.
The only person I could think would be like a Witho.
It's close. Similar level of intellect.
Nah, I'm stumped.
Yeah, 0 from 1. Andrew
Yeah.
Gaff is on 12.
Jaff.
Yep.
That's incredible.
You go number 2 as well, mate.
Well, I haven't got the dog's name, though.
Neither.
Oh, well, you got a dog name that he won't know, you know?
All right.
Go on.
Whose dog's name is Bill?
Westies.
Guess again.
Oh, Rothy.
Rothy. There we go.
Very good. We'll give him that.
I'll give you that.
Sorry.
All right, I'll go to the second one. Which teammate, from what you have seen or maybe even heard, was worst on ground for the Kalgoorlie footy trip?
There's 2 answers that would be acceptable here. Either
Pet.
or. He didn't go, so yes, that is also correct.
Worst on Langers.
That's also a very good answer, but not the one I'm looking for.
I was just thinking of the salmon. I don't know. Is he? Can I ask for a hint of Is he at the club still?
He's at the club still, and he's of the younger age bracket.
Luke Edwards.
Yeah, bang. Easy as.
All right, your turn.
All right. Who was the previous number 39 for West Coast?
There was directly before me.
Yeah, directly.
Jared
before.
Cameron.
Bang, too easy.
Easy stuff.
And then I've got the last one for you. What was Jake Waterman's previous number?
45.
Bang, bang, bang.
Wow, that's not bad.
That was very good.
Is that you being a full Eagles nuff pot? Did you support Eagles or what?
No,
I saw a cute photo of
no,
you in an Eagles kit, by the way, the other day.
Yeah, I think it was because I was wondering why Jake wasn't 39, so I checked what numbers he was.
Yeah, yeah, 'cause his old man was
yeah, that's
39.
right. That's
Yeah.
right. So I when I first got to the club, I'd wondered if Jake had worn 39, and for some reason it stuck in my mind that he went to 45.
Do you know who the 39 before Joe Cameron was?
Carpany?
Correct. Mally Carpany. You're good with this.
Yeah.
How many games
I
did he
don't know
play?
your number.
5?
3 or 4? Yeah. I'm not too sure.
Had some fan questions in for you too, Clarky, besides from you just being a great looking man. This is from Jack Dewsbury. Who are some of the waffle players who should be given a chance at AFL level? You've seen a fair few of them in the last few years. Who do you think probably could have made the jump much like yourself?
I think last year in particular, and because I grew up playing against him in the state programs with him, we've literally had the exact same path of growth, was Bailey Rogers. And I mean, he had some ridiculous games, and I'm obviously not a recruiter, and I'm not 100% certain what they look for, but yeah, he was one. And then from South Freo, there's some real weapons in that side, like Blake Schlensog's, and he was so hard to come up
He's a
against.
gun.
He's very
Oh,
versatile as well, yeah.
And then Chad Pearson down there as well. Noah Strom is...
The Strom brothers are crazy.
My God, Noah is huge. So is Zach. And Zach plays out on a wing and he's so much bigger than I am and he runs like a beast and he can do everything. So there are a lot of guys running around the waffle who are very quality.
Yep. This is from Afarito, and this might make sense to you, doesn't it, mate?
Cousin.
Are you grateful that the footy season doesn't interrupt with Sauce Day? What the hell is Sauce Day?
All right, so I come from an Italian family and a tradition is that we make our own sugo, which is red sauce for pasta, and that's always in the pre-season. And everyone has to rock up. Everyone's got jobs, whether you mash the tomatoes through to get the sugo out. I always set it up because I can never be there on the morning because we've always got a training session or something. But this year was the day after I smashed my shoulder. So I had very limited use besides eating it. So that's a little insight.
How long does it all take for the entire day?
We usually start quite early in the morning because it's so hot. Because that's when that time of the year is the only time you can get tomatoes that are good to go. Right. So probably takes about 5 or 6 hours. And then Nunna always cooks up pasta with the fresh sauce, and it's a tradition we've done since I was born.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a mint one. And then how long are you eating this stuff for? For a full day of cooking, how long does that last on?
A year. So every family gets a year's worth of sauce out of it.
How many tomatoes goes into that? Like what ingredients would be in it? Or is it like family recipe?
Mate, there are a little couple things, but 95% of it's just tomato.
Really?
Yeah.
Riley Cole, you got something?
I've got one. I've got one from Calvin. He says, was wondering how he found the adjustment of waffle to AFL in terms of training standards, also learning the game plan and complexities around that.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, when I was first at Subi, I had Jared Schofield, who he was literally trying to implement an AFL program at that club, and it shows in the success we had. So I'm pretty fortunate that the jump wasn't huge, and being that bit older and having to face a lot of tough times to realise what works and what doesn't, I don't think the jump was incredibly high. It's now, I think at this level, there's so much drilled into every player. You've got to go now above and beyond what anyone else is doing to try be better than someone. So the jump wasn't huge. I think as I play more AFL games, hopefully I can understand that there'll be really tough games, I'm sure, in there, and especially on the weekend. And I'm going to do a lot of learning over the next 6 months to a year and even further than that. But I'm just keen to embrace it and see how we go.
There's a real Subi flair in the coaching staff at the moment. So obviously the head mids coach, Scully, your former league coach at Subiaco.
Well, Knight is the head mids coach and Scully's the
stoppages coach. Yeah.
And then Horse is the development mids coach. So at Subi, Horse was my captain and Scully was the coach, and now they're both coaches. And then Nico's a ex-Subi boy as well, and he's a development forwards coach. So
very ancestral down there.
Can you tell us the story about the nickname 192 given to you from Scully?
Yeah. I tried to get it out the first day I got here, but it's a bit of a long story. But it was a pre-game prep, and Scully used to rev the boys up a bit. And at this time, it was in those first couple of years out of that draft where I didn't go, and I was playing, they'd move me to a half back line, and I'd always be the seventh defender in that team. And it was a stacked back line. And Sky this one day just decided to run through the whole back line and just their accolades and what they're good at. And he started with all the blokes on the field, and he went through everyone like, state player, premiership player, ex-AFL, and then 200 game. And he went through all of them, and the boys would start to cheer after everyone, like, yeah, come on, mate, like, the usual pump up. And then he got to me on the bench, and like, I was like, oh my God, yes, here we go. I'll get to find
He's
out.
going to tell me how good I am.
I know how good I'm going.
I'll get my voice recorder going, yeah.
Yeah, how good's this going to be? And then he literally just goes, 192 centimetres. And like, I reckon you could honestly hear this like, ooh. Like,
oh no.
And then, and
the boys called you 192?
Yeah, so then after the game, like, we'd won and everyone's happy.
Of course you guys won. You guys always won.
I think someone went to Scully and was like, did the only thing you really have to say about Greg was 192? And then the boys just went off on it. So I was 192 for a number of years.
That's quality.
That's classic. Everyone, you're a gun, you're a gun, you're a gun.
Yeah.
You're tall.
Yeah. Just sat there. I was like, oh, Jesus.
Yeah. All right, last question. He's got to go. He's got another interview to get to. But
busy man. Hard to book today.
Lani Dunbar, are you mad Oscar Allen took your number?
Well, after the grand final,
What, you thought the club was getting rid of me or something?
after the Waffle grand final, I somehow end up on FaceTime with Oscar.
I remember this.
And he's in Kalgoorlie at the time. And he goes,
I was on footy trip celebrating with the boys, and
we just won, and we were both very inebriated.
Inebriated. Good term for it, yeah. Yep.
And then, Oscar goes, "Don't worry, mate. I'll give you the number 12. But no, I'll happily just accept the 39.
That's so good. He's probably walked in and go, "Remember our convo?" Like, no,
nah,
what
mate,
are you talking about?
What do you mean? Hey, mate, nice to meet you, mate. We were on FaceTime 3 weeks ago.
Give me your number.
It's all right. Number 5 is available. Watch your space.
You're an absolute legend, mate. Thanks for popping in. I know you're a busy man, got a few things on today, but you're welcome anytime back, coast to coast.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, mate.
Cheers.
Oh, that was super awkward. So Greg Clark left, and then he had his embrace with Oscar Allen. And Oscar's organising a bit of a dinner for some teammates. And
I am.
And then Greg
and I go, "Mate, I'll see you tonight." And he goes, "Yeah, mate, can't make it." Shakes my hand and pisses off out the door. So I wish I knew that before I invite him on the podcast this week.
Oh, goodness. That was good stuff. Okay, man. So we got nothing else to talk about. It was just Clarky to finish.
I've had some people messaging me. I've had some couple questions for Westy. I know we said Westy this week.
Next week, right?
Next week,
cool.
Westy.
And sorry for everyone, we couldn't get to the Greg Clark questions. There were so many of them. He had to go quick. We had to jam him in. But we do appreciate all the feedback. Keep it coming.
I'd also like to thank Keely. She's made a comment saying she actually already submitted Jackson Nelson's special skill to the Hamish and Andy podcast for us. So even though he didn't accomplish it, Keely, you're a superstar.
I like it.
She's also a Chit Chat champion, so congratulations to you. We got a lot of mentions about how good the game Werewolf is. Thanks, Joda? Yeah, Joda.
Should we live stream play? Do you reckon if we live stream West Coast players playing Werewolf to get an audience? Like a little Twitch audience?
You wouldn't be able to. You just feel how bad of the people we are lying to each other.
Oh, I'm fascinated by
Hugh Dixon is one that's been commonly requested to get on the podcast. Philip White's really interested in that.
Philip White's all about the podcast. Can I ask you something? Is it kind of like the, I'm just forgetting the name of it, where they've got imposters and you've got
no, it's exactly like that.
Okay.
Among Us.
Yes.
But it's that in real life.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
It's great. You just lie to each other.
Did you ever get to play Among Us with mates?
I did, yeah.
I didn't get a good crack at it, and
Really?
I feel that would be the best game.
How's this game Werewolf? We needed to implement a rule you couldn't swear on your own or other people's lives, because we'd get into it and be like, "I'm not a werewolf." It's like, "Oh yeah, swear on your wife's life that you're not a werewolf. Swear on your kid's life." And then folks like, "You can't say that."
And then you're like, "Well, you're it. You're it."
And then you just vote people. So for those playing at home, you're not allowed to swear on things.
Okay, that's awesome. If it's like Among Us, what an absolute ripping game. The other thing we didn't get to cover is when Josh Kennedy went down to Northampton for the Waffle game.
He did. And
like after the Friday night, this old-timer, soon-to-be 35-year-old, has gone down there to support Cyclone Saroja, the Recovery Fund. Crazy game of waffle footy.
East Perth were down by 10 goals at quarter time and came back and almost won.
Correct.
Yeah, great game.
JK reckons the field was just sloping. Like it sounded like the Travelator from Gladiators. Like they were just working up a hill almost.
Really?
But I reckon it was awesome atmosphere, and hopefully they keep doing it.
6,000 they reckon went out to watch. Yeah.
That's mint. Because that's their zone, isn't it, East Freo?
It is.
Yeah, so you wouldn't
I would hope so. That's where Cripper and JK are from.
I didn't know Cripper was East Freo.
Yes.
Yeah, gotcha.
All of them were.
Okay, Roger.
Good breeding ground.
You got anything else to add? I don't want to think about them breeding there, but you got anything else to add?
No. Hopefully a better performance this week.
Yep.
We'll get back to you.
Where are you watching it?
I'll be watching from the couch.
That's sick.
Tommy Cole will be over this weekend, so Coley, my thoughts will also be Coley's because they'll be echoed on next week's program.
Will be at your house or be in Brisbane?
No, he'll be at my house watching with me.
Right. Why are you said you like watching him alone, mate.
I know, but I've actually got sick and tired of it because I actually went to the game on the weekend. In the box, and I was one of the only players in there because Tom Brass and Nick Nat were in the coach's box, and I had Campbell, Chesser, and Brady Hoff next to me, and they were just sitting there in silence, or like on TikTok doing things that pre-pubescents do.
No, I thought I heard you on the train on the way home, so you did go. Yeah, that's right. All right, Oscar Allen, till another week. Very short ep. We'll see if we can stretch it out next time, but will Connor West have some things to say, you reckon?
Potentially. He's a bit of a mute, so wait and see.
Wicked. See you, mate.
See ya.